This is Level 7 News. My name's Andrew Abyss. Lots of commemorations, tributes to the 19,000 people who died of the because of the tsunami on March 11, 2011, and harrowing stories of survivors and people displaced by the tsunami. There's a BBC documentary, that's very emotional and recounting stories of children's survival, but really, this is way premature. Let's not be lulled. I don't think many of you watching are, but if anyone else who is watching, this radiation crisis is not over. If you want to grieve for the 19,000 people who were killed as direct result of the earthquake and tsunami, grieve also for the 14,000 North American, mostly children, who have died as of the result of the radiation pole falling upon North America. And it's not going to stop at 14,000. This is way more than Al-Qaeda has ever killed North Americans easily. So why isn't this being reported? So the BBC, CNN, all the major media outlets directly is responsible for at best underreporting or not reporting at all, or distorting or belittling even people who are talking about radiation reaching North America and beyond. So this is not over. There will be, it's hard to say if this continues at this current level of lack of precaution issued by governments and agencies alike. There's going to be millions who die from this radiation coming from Fukushima, and there are leaking radiation plants around the world. So let's keep agitating. This is not over. This emotional catharsis that's come out of the commemoration, 1 year commemoration, while reflective and it's somewhat necessary. It's not. This is not closure. This crisis is ongoing. Billions more will die. You and I have a responsibility for spreading the word, being active, and helping others prepare for this radiation apocalypse, you could say. I did a report called Radioactive Economic Collapse a couple of weeks ago, and that's very much part of it. There are toxic derivatives, toxic currency in our wallets, inflation feeding into our lives, and radiation to boot, and they all have deeply serious consequences, each of them, and they're combining to create this tsunami that's not made of raging seawater. It's composed of government lies, distortion, wealth confiscation, police state, brought on by 9/11, and even many things before that. Good old 1913 Federal Reserve creation. That's a big part. So in many ways, it's been building for a long time, many decades and generations. But also things are quickening since the 70s and 80s, perhaps you could argue. But we have an amazing quickening in the 2000s, and especially from 2007, 2008. So amazing events. A lot of people, a lot of my friends, Japanese friends, friends who have been to Japan, worked there with me, they're just posting or talking about these reminiscing about I will never forget March 11, 2011. I will not forget the victims. Well, there are ongoing victims. The crisis is not over. This case is not closed. There are more people dying. There'll be more victims than the 19,000 Japanese, predominantly Japanese, who died, and the 14,000 who died in North America. That's it's being pretty much shunned. So our grieving is not over. Many more people will die. Let's do what we can to prevent tens of thousands, millions more dying from this radiation and the accompanying economic collapse. Now, just a word about Japanese people who are commemorating, and foreigners living in Japan, commemorating the tsunami disaster. There's lots of good things like prayer and supporting victims and victims' families, commemorating the dead. But there seems to be this Japanese people have this idea that, and it's a great one. It's an idea called it's from this verb called gambaru, which means like to keep fighting, keep persisting, don't give up. And it's a wonderful thing that no one is harder working than Japanese people. But there seems to be this idea that if they fight hard enough, then they can overcome any obstacle. And you're just kind of like head down, sort of eyes closed, keep fighting, keep pummeling, pushing that rock up the mountain kind of spirit. I'm sorry if I've misrepresented anything about Japanese culture. That's what I've come to understand from living there. So, and it's a great thing, but it also, the Gambaru spirit is it doesn't really seek the core of the problem, so it's really a kind of psychological slavery. So people don't want to hear about the radiation problems to a large extent. There are activists, of course, in Japan, which is great, but they're very, very much the minority, and it's kind of seen as being kind of troublemakers or people outside the group. They're very much looked down upon, dare I say. There seems to be there's a group of Fukushima women who went to Tokyo and to protest at the TEPCO headquarters, and it's they didn't get very much support from the greater people of Tokyo, because everyone's sort of fallen in line that there's this disaster and we must do what we can to support, eat radiation contaminated produce, to support the farmers in Fukushima, and they need to be helped, but to eat radiation contaminated food, this support by eating produce campaign, it's just crazy, suicidal. This is kind of a hard critique, but this sort of martial discipline the Japanese people have seems to, it's kind of like a mentality that they will, undertake their, do their profession or do their service to their utmost ability. Not, even despite what their personal reservations or innermost instincts, may say the opposite to what they're doing, or despite their grave reservations, so, hey, there might be radiation in the air and this might be dangerous. They will do what is expected of them, regardless of their personal feeling or reluctance. So this deference to authority has been manipulated and used by the Japanese government, the powers that be. If you look at, lots changed since World War II, but really has it? The idea of sacrificing for the greater good. That greater good agenda is set by the government and the ruling elite. So the kamikaze pilots, they I guess even their remorse in doing what they were trained to do, they were led to believe that this would help the nation as a whole, and did it really? I mean, I don't think so. So, just a word on that Gambara spirit. I mean, it's made Japan a great country, but it's not served them perhaps on a personal level, and with this radiation crisis, its shortcomings are even more exposed. So, people of Japan, people in Japan, don't believe your government. Use your energies for saving lives. Okay, Andrew Rubis out. Thanks for watching Level 7 News.